Hi there, I'm immigration lawyer Hillary Walsh. I'm owner and operator of New Frontier Immigration Law. I'm located in downtown Phoenix, but we help people all over the United States. This is the second part of a two-part video. You don't have to watch both parts, but if you're curious about something else, scroll back through. I'm wearing the same clothes. These are made back to back, and you can find out more information if this particular video doesn't pertain to you. Here's what we're going to learn today. If you are a U.S. citizen and you're married to someone who does not have status here in the United States and they entered without permission, so they came across the border either when they were little or when they were big, whenever, if they're here in the United States and they didn't first get permission to come in, this video is for you and your spouse, okay? So here, I have this diagram because I know that I'm a visual learner and 33% of all adults are visual learners. All people are visual learners. Okay, so if you are a U.S. citizen, I'm kind of Vanna White here, okay? If you're a U.S. citizen and you're married to an immigrant who entered without permission, okay? In a prior video, we talked about the difference between people who overstayed a visa and people who entered without permission, okay? So this video is specifically to people who are here and never had permission to come into the country to begin with. We're gonna fix your situation and it's gonna be amazing for you and the generations to come in your family, okay? So here's how we're gonna do it. You have to go back to your home country, okay? There are very few exceptions to this, and if you want to talk because you think that those exceptions apply to you and your situation, call me and we'll figure it out, okay? And I'll give you a straight answer, no fluff on whether it works for you. But for the most part, you're probably going to have to go back to your home country. Let's use Mexico as an example. You came in from Mexico, your parents brought you here when you were 2 years old, or you came and went in the 90s when the border was just totally different than it is today, okay? You came in without permission. In order for you to be able to leave to go get your green card that your US citizen is sponsoring you for, that they're petitioning for you for, you got this big thing in the middle. We have to get you a hardship waiver, okay? The hardship has to show that it's not gonna cause you, the immigrant, the person who wants the green card hardship, rather it's gonna cause someone here in the United States hardship. And that's going to be either the immigrant, it's either going to be their U.S. citizen parent, their lawful permanent resident parent, or their lawful permanent resident spouse, or their U.S. citizen spouse. So, do mom and dad, these are the questions I always ask in a consultation. If you're married to a U.S. citizen and you're here in my office, then it's a pretty clear-cut deal. We can go right into this conversation about the hardship would be to the U.S. citizen spouse. But if you have multiple family members who might have hardship, then we really need to talk about that because those are positive equities for your case, okay? So let's pretend for a moment that you are not married to a U.S. citizen, okay? We're gonna kind of take it outside of this diagram. We need to know whether you have a U.S. citizen mom or dad or a lawful permanent resident mom or dad, or if you're going to be married to a lawful permanent resident or a U.S. citizen spouse, okay? And then we can start the conversation about the hardship waiver. What type of hardship would it cause your person if you were not allowed to come back from Ciudad Juarez, okay? Now, importantly, who's not on here? Who's a really important family member who's not on here? Who oftentimes, if the immigrant is not allowed to come back, it would cause them the most hardship. And that's your kids. So say you have, like me, I have 4 kids under 7, and I'm the mom, right? If I were an immigrant in this country and I weren't allowed to go to Juarez to pick up my green card, essentially, to go to the interview, it would cause my kids extreme hardship, right? Because I'm a very involved mom and they would miss me and they love me and all of that. Okay, that doesn't matter to the US government. Just because you have US citizen children, your hardship of being removed does not create a basis for a hardship waiver on its face. Now, in my firm, we've been able to craft hardship waivers that incorporate the hardship that it would cause a US citizen child, but the direct link can't be there. So if it is just the US citizen children that you have who will cause a hardship to, I think never just assume that you're out of luck and that you can't meet this component. Talk to an innovative and creative immigration lawyer who's gonna look at your case and see and really evaluate it. Don't read WebMD and self-diagnose yourself with 0 odds of being able to live. Instead, look at what your odds are and go in realistically and talk to an expert or someone who specializes in a specific field, okay, who can help you with that diagnosis. And the same is true in immigration, okay? So here, just to recap, if you're married to a US citizen and you came here without permission to begin with, we're gonna file a hardship waiver for you so that you can go back to your home country, to the embassy there, process with the consulate, and you can re-enter not only with permission, but with a green card.